the things that I like about thematic teaching using blues music is that it provides a great platform to address a whole bunch of different standards and skills. For example, we were working on narrative writing. In contrast to some of the normal writing prompts that we use where we're asked to write about our day at the beach or how was your day at the playground, I said, why not combine our work with the blues band with a narrative? And I thought, what better way to do it than to come up with something that challenged them and they had to think outside of the box. So I said, look, imagine our blues band is in a jet plane, we're on our own private tour, and we have to be rerouted to a desert island. So we land there, there's nobody there. How would you call for help and how would you survive in the meantime? Because they didn't have a lot of prior knowledge to activate about being stranded on a desert island, like most people don't. I had to front load them with a lot of information. For example, what does a deserted island look like? So we did a Google image search on the LCD screen, and all of a sudden they went, oh, now I can imagine it. We talked about other things like shelter and torches. Once I activated their knowledge base, or introduce them to some new vocabulary and terms, I said, now what I want you to do is, I've given you enough information, I've given you enough inspiration, I want you to team up. You can either work in groups of 2, 3, or 4, and I want you to get together in your own groups, and I want you to problem solve this. Come up with your own strategies, make your writing come alive. So next thing I know, I'm watching these 2 students, and on their own, they're coming up with their own questions. And he kept coming up with all these ideas. And then what she would do is she'd say, yeah, I understand, but how would you do this? How would you do that? And she wasn't letting him come up with these unspecific things. She would tease these details out of him.
What would you do for food? If I brought a fishing rod, I'd just get a fishing rod and throw it out in the ocean and try and catch some wahoo or something. Okay, what would you do for shelter? I would go out in the woods and chop down trees, and I would make a house out of it. Would you do it with help or with no help? I could do it with some help. Okay, who would you ask to help? Well, if Lorelai or you were there, I'd probably ask, I'll go eeny, meeny, miny, mo on one of you, and then the one who it lands on gets to help you. But what if you need a lot of help? Then I'd choose both. So it would be us 3? Yes. Okay. Would you stay at the surface and let the water hit you, or would you get in the water? I'd get close to the ocean where the waves go up and there was still a little land, and you'd stay there. Yeah, that's where I'd let it hit you. Look. What would you do to chop down the trees? I would get something really sharp off the plane, and then I would just swing at it. Would you get a tall tree or a short tree? I'd get a tall tree. Why? Why would you get a tall tree? So I could get a tall house and a long house. Would you get lots of trees or a little bit of trees? Lots of trees. Almost every tree in the forest. So you take lots of trees, lots of big trees, and then you'd build a house with it. Yes. And you'd have help. You'd have us 3 for help. And you take the plain nose off. And so you want to write about Monsterdam. Yeah. Will you agree on that? I'll think about it. Okay. Right now, let's focus on, you did your picture. Now we have to do the writing. One day, the first grade blues band. So one day a first grade blues band. But that's us. So we're talking about us. So one day, our first grade blues band. We get stuck on a desert island. China. Okay, China. Actually, Rio. That's in South America. Actually, yeah. Rio or China? China. I just get so many ideas so quick. Yes, you do. Okay, China. But the plane stopped working. This is the first grade blues band on a desert island. One day, our first grade blues band was on a trip to China.